Gamer Dude 2088, and we're back for TOT Floor 60. And we're in the month of November. That dreaded Ebonite boss, the one everybody hates, and I know a lot of you been asking about this one. Alright, let's talk about what the pain in the ass this really is. With this third skill, Defiance, the passive, protects self with a Mail of Thorns, which sucks, damaging an enemy attacker by 10% of their max HP, heals self by 15% of all HP upon receiving a critical attack. Now, with what you're gonna bring and what this is gonna do can be pretty devastating if not done correctly. Alright, let's talk about this second skill. Text. An enemy mutes them and curses them for 2 turns, disabling 20% of their max HP. Now this definitely can hurt you when you have Herman in this fight, because he's going to target Herman if he's the only water or something like that. But definitely don't want this to happen. So speed requirements, we're going to talk about that because that is quite important. And then you just attack the enemy on the first one, which will do some pretty good damage if you don't mitigate that. So the problem you all having is he out heals you, and everybody in it, everybody that's so powerful that goes in and beat this boss with their OP teams tell you to bring a heal block in when they don't even use a heal block. So bullshit, and stop listening to that garbage these guys feeding you, man. Because I don't use heal blocks. It's not necessary. You wasting resources building a unit that has a heal block that you don't already use. If you don't use it, then don't waste your time building it, because there's no reason. I have yet to see a reason to bring a heal block into TOT. Yet to see a reason. And until I do see a reason, I'm going to keep telling you not to bring it. Big issue for me personally, not for you, but for me personally, is dealing with WHS. And I wouldn't say the druids, if you get your debuffs out before the druids go, but WHS, even though you have your debuffs out, she can cleanse that and ruin your day. So one cleanse can turn a fight into an L. So a little bit of RNG, like I always say, is definitely needed when coming in to this fight. So I'm gonna go ahead, let you see what I do, and then we're gonna talk about the strategy and some stat requirements that you probably going to need to ensure victory and success a lot faster than what it's about to take you to really do it. Okay, my screen not frozen this time, please. I land nothing on the boss. Stupid. Alright, the first video, my screen froze, so you wasn't able to see. This one was frustrating because the weapon on the Ebonite sits right behind that one fire druid that's on the left side, so the hitbox is really big. So when I'm trying to click on her, it's clicking on him and forcing me to attack him, which causing me to crit and heal the damn thing. Oh my god. So it was just a fail. That's why, like, through the whole video I'm trying to click like at the lowest edge of her foot so I don't touch him, so it doesn't mess up my strategy, and then I end up proccing that heal at the worst time. So that was pretty frustrating. The worst part is having to record it more than one time, which the first time it was really quick, and then missing my attack break and the blind not proccing, which caused Herman to die early. Rough times. That's why RNG is important. So before we even talk about the strategy, let's talk about speed requirements, starting with our slowest unit, WHS. The first video I recorded was pretty bad because I had to move some glyphs around because I was doing a lot of testing, doing other things, messing around with other parts of the game, and I think some of TOT as well. I don't quite remember. There's been a lot going on in the last week or two. So I've messed up a lot of my TOT units' glyphs, which caused me to epic fail because my units was just too slow. But WHS sitting at 141, which she's been there for the longest. She hasn't changed like much at all, and I don't plan to change her anytime soon. I have to like really increase my glyph quality for me to really do much with her, because if anything, I'll be trying to get more speed on her so she can just perform even better, but that requires me to get more speed and everything else as well, which can be difficult when you mess up your glyphs and put them in places they don't supposed to be. So that's just the basis of her. I mean, she's pretty self-explained of what she does and what you don't want her to do in the fight, because the enemy has her as well. And sorry for the people that don't have her, because I have yet gotten to the point where I can probably make content on how to do it without CDR, which CDR is critically important for TOT. So we're gonna go on to our next slowest unit, which was Herman. I believe before, no, it wasn't Herman. That was right. Because I messed up glyphs, Herman was the slowest unit. So what ended up happening was the boss went before Herman got a turn and before George got a turn, which ended up causing the boss to one-shot Herman, and it just like it was rough. So that will be in this month's bloopers video. But I believe, yeah, here we go. Our Fire Kabir. So from what I noticed, you definitely want to be over 150 speed. 150 speed, like at least have George if you can get George. I believe, or is it George? Wasn't George my next? Because that's Quest X. Yeah, this is Mario, and yeah, George was my next. You know, see, I don't have him, and I had moved and changed some of his glyphs as well, and I believe, yeah, it was 150 speed for him before the boss gets its turn and CC and duel. I mean, and hit your water unit and possibly one-shot them. So the beginning part of this strat is pretty much to get the attack break up with Luigi. And off his third skill, you missed that attack break. It's going to be a rough time, because even in this fight, I lost Herman early on, which caused me to have George here to do some extra work that wasn't as necessary, because he had to do all of the CC, and it was pretty rough. It was a rough fight trying to do this second, third of whatever take it was. I recorded this like a bunch of times, but to do that recording, it took a while just to really get it together. And I mean, this is pretty much your main DPS and your clutch unit. Using Mario here, the Fire Kabir, I hope everybody's keeping up with the names I'm giving these units. But like Mario here, he is technically the main DPS, but George is going to be doing most of the work. And having the CDR, having Mario being able to get those parasites up, so you can have 2 to 3 parasites if possible on the boss, because it's going to take, if everything goes well, nothing derps, you land all your debuffs, you do things properly, this fight can be ended within the boss get in 3 to 4 turns. But if things don't go as planned, you click the boss and not the fire druid and crit, and because what you want to do when you first start off is to get all of your debuffs on. You want to max out all 8 of your debuffs at the beginning of the fight on the boss, because you're going to do all those crits. So while his health is max and you're not allowing him to get turns, he's gonna keep healing, but he can't heal past his max. So from there, you just let all of your passive DPS do the damage and avoid having to attack him unless necessary. Which you want the parasites to land on him, not the poisons, unless you have some kind of poison bursting comp, which that's not what I'm showing in this video. But if you had, like, let's say the water tree to burst poisons, then it wouldn't be as bad to drop the poisons, because you want to crit with George, but you don't want to crit on the boss. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So this is why you want to land all of your debuffs early and work your way through that as much as possible. The blind that you also get from Herman on second skill is clutch, making sure he doesn't land attacks if necessary, because your water units could possibly get one shot. And you also have your backup blind with Mario once you get enough focus markers, which only takes 4, but you're going to get that from Luigi. For the people that don't know how the combo works and haven't seen the TOT guide video, you should check that out, because I go into full detail how that works. And then besides having 150 speed or above 150 speed for speed requirements, accuracy is important. Well, you see my best accuracy is on Mario at 140, 141, which I think at that point you're pretty much golden for TOT everything. But I'm still trying to get my accuracies up, so to make sure I can go further, because 113 is pretty low in my opinion. You can even be lower and still do well. It's just you're more centered around having more RNG to help you than to actually, be relying on the capabilities of your units. So like my goal is to get up into like that 130 mark and above if possible. Once I can get good enough glyphs, so I can make sure I'm landing them. And then it's even rougher, because wait, so let's go here, because they both have the same. So it's not bad at 113, but I was still missing, even in this fight, I was missing attack breaks, I was missing blinds, like the stuff that's important to have on the boss, so the boss don't like run through your team and cause you to have less and less turns. Now my goal here is to be able to get 100% accuracy on George. Still haven't been able to really fine tune to get those glyphs and get the stats that I need. Once I can get some pretty good crit rolls, accuracy rolls, as well as have some decent speed on all the glyphs, because I like to get him above 160 speed is always my goal for TOT, if I can get everything above 160. But if I can get him over that 150 mark, at least in regards to this floor, and 100 accuracy, that will be good. But you see, he wasn't having too many problems with landing his poisons, not a lot. I think he missed here and there, but I really wasn't paying it that much attention. At least the ones on the boss was landing. So just having that above my base minimum of that 80% that I said in some of my older videos is definitely good there. And for these units as well, because I know I'm kind of just bouncing back and forth. But double crit and double accuracy for him, so you're not really worried about, because you see how squishy he is. He can easily get taken down one shot. So the object is always to never be touched. Always to never be touched. I think Herman is the one that I still don't have an accuracy glyph for him. So he's rocking the HP, which is cool. He can take one hit, but once I get a solid accuracy glyph for him, then I'm not gonna even have to worry about it, because he'll be landing more freezes and more blinds. Once I get to that point, I think Mario is on double accuracy, so he's doing pretty good there. And I had to move glyphs from Mario to Herman around just to get my speeds in the correct order and everything. And then he's just running one accuracy, so he also needs another accuracy glyph just to make sure, because missing the resistance debuff, which doesn't happen often. I believe it has an inbuilt higher resistance rate than other debuffs, but missing that attack break is rough, because having to deal with the fight and work around not having your main CC unit is tough. But I think that's pretty much it for the most part. I know I kind of just like went crazy and everything. This fight is pretty tough, so I know a lot of people don't have the stats that I'm bringing in as far as speed, accuracy, and crit goes. So you might have to rely a little bit more on the RNG aspect and just keep trying. This team is pretty simple. It can do it relatively easy and quick. I mean, if you have other units, let's say like Sapphire is a good replacement for Herman, or even if you run in Sapphire and Herman together for double CC is important, so you can cycle through the CCs. If you do have that unit, I mean, Tree is good if you're going for more of the poison bursting, the same way as the Fire Kappa is good also if you're going for the poison bursting type of style, which is pretty good as well. But you got to stack a lot of poisons really fast. So just like I was saying in the beginning, is get all your debuffs up and then go into everything else. If that is your kind of strategy going into it, it's just making sure you can be able to keep the add CC properly, your beginning CC, stack those debuffs, and just let everything just go to work and just mitigate and just maintain as best as possible without allowing anything to go. And I know I'm repeating myself now, so I'm going to end this video here. I'm forgetting something. I can't remember what it is. That sucks, but maybe I put it in another video. Oh yeah, now I remember. So for everybody that hasn't gotten past 60, like, period, for this rotation, 70 is worse. Deuces.